Hi everyone, welcome to the National Scholarships and Fellowships at UWG webinar. This webinar will offer you a broad overview of some opportunities that you can explore further in National Scholarships and Fellowships. My name is Kate. I work in the Office of Undergraduate Research. You can reach me easiest through email at kate@westga.edu. So if you have questions about anything that we go over in this webinar today, please do shoot me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions you have and even schedule a one-on-one virtual meeting with you. So let's get started. First, we're going to talk about identifying big goals. And I want to do this because it's really important that you know that you don't change yourself to fit a fellowship. So even if an opportunity that you hear about today seems really prestigious or really cool, if it's not something that aligns with your goals or helps you to get closer to achieving those goals, it may not be an opportunity for you. You should use fellowships to help you achieve the goals that you've already set for yourself, rather than trying to change those goals to fit into a fellowship. So let's get started on this. First, if you knew you could not fail, what would you do with your life? So this is that big dream that's not necessarily time-bound, that maybe you don't always admit to people, but if you knew seriously that you would definitely achieve it, what would you do? This could be an issue that you would solve or make progress on. It could be a career you want to have, an opportunity you would pursue, or maybe even a risk you would take, like a financial risk or something with low odds of success, perhaps like applying for a national fellowship, which can be really competitive. Now I want you to think about what your major is, and how does your major connect to achieving your dream? Next, consider what the 3 biggest things are that would need to happen first in order for you to achieve your dream. For example, if you want to go to law school so that one day you can be a lawyer who serves underserved populations, or a lawyer who works on whatever issue it is that you want to work on, one of the big things that you would have to achieve first would be to get into law school. So think about what those 3 biggest things are that need to happen first in order for you to achieve your dream. And then think about an action step that you can take in the next year to get you closer to achieving that dream. So that could be Googling how to get into law school, or taking your LSATs if you already know that that's something you need to do. If you need to pause the video at this point to really write down your answers to these questions and think through some of this, please go ahead and do that, and then join us back. You can hit play again after you've written down your answers, and we'll go through some different fellowships and help you explore how you can achieve those goals. Now I want to talk about what we call the big 3, which are leadership, service, and academics. Now if you're a science or math major, that's really leadership, research, and academics. And what I mean by the big 3 is that these are the big 3 areas that you really need to concentrate on so that you can be best prepared in order to have a really fantastic scholarship or fellowship application. So if you're any major other than a science or math major, it's really important that you hold consistent membership in an organization and have a leadership position, at least as a junior and senior. Now, leadership doesn't necessarily mean you have to be president of the organization. You can exhibit leadership and show those leadership skills in lots of different ways through lots of positions. That consistent membership is key, though. It's really important that you are a long-time member, a dedicated member of 1 or 2 organizations, rather than simply having your name on the roll in 10 or 12 organizations. You should also do consistent, meaningful community service in an area that you're passionate about, and maintain a strong GPA. You also still want to take advantage of undergraduate research opportunities. Even though that's not one of the big 3 for you, undergraduate research can really help set your applications apart and can help you to learn how to dig deeper into a topic that you're passionate about, and that's really important. If you're a science or math major, everything here will look pretty much the same as what we just went over for the non-science and math folks. But in your big 3, instead of service being the biggest thing, it's really going to be research. So you want to work on undergraduate research as soon as you can and have at least 1 to 2 presentations, definitely as a junior or senior. Some students start presenting earlier than that, and that's fantastic. but definitely start working on research as soon as you can and get those presentations under your belt. And just like we said, research is still important for the non-science and math majors, community service is still important for you as well. It can boost your application. It can help you show that you're a dedicated person, dedicated to a certain cause or a certain organization, and it can still really help set your application apart from other apps. Next, I want to talk about intentionally preparing each year to make a strong fellowship application. Now, I'm not going to read all these to you, but I'll keep this up on the screen and you can look through as we're discussing. If you are a freshman or sophomore, now's the perfect time to get started thinking about what fellowships you might apply for and what you need to do to get there. And there are some universal things that you can do, a lot of what we talk about in our Big Three. If you're watching this as a junior or senior, please understand that it is not too late for you to get started. You may feel like, I didn't do these things as a freshman or sophomore, so maybe I'm starting off behind. Trust me, you're not starting behind. You can start from wherever you are. Please reach out if you have questions about wanting to apply for a specific fellowship. If you're not sure you meet the requirements, I can help you kind of navigate all of that. But these are just important things for you to consider each year as you're preparing to craft a very strong fellowships application. So take a look at this slide and think about what it is that you may need to get started on next. The next thing I'm going to do is run very quickly through several different scholarships and fellowships that might be interesting to you. Remember, you want to use these fellowships to support the goals that you've already established for yourself. Here I'm going to just give you a very broad, quick overview of several different scholarships and fellowships, but keep in mind that this is by no means an exhaustive list. If you see a scholarship or fellowship on this presentation that sounds really interesting to you, look up more information, check out their websites, watch our other webinars, and get in touch with me. I'd love to explore these more in depth with you. But if there's something you're thinking about and it's not on this presentation, that's okay. You'll notice we're not going to talk about the Rhodes or the Marshall, but if you feel like you are a future Rhodes Scholar, please reach out. We are still available and happy to help you through that entire application process. So with all of that said, our first one is Gilman. Gilman is for undergraduate Pell Grant recipients who want to study abroad. It offers up to $5,000 for study abroad experiences. We have Gilman Scholars almost every single year at the University of West Georgia, so this is definitely a scholarship that is accessible and attainable for our students. So if you are a Pell Grant recipient planning a study abroad in the future, definitely look into Gilman. Reach out either to my office or the Office of Education Abroad, and we'll help you to get started. The next fellowship I want to talk about is Goldwater. The Goldwater Scholarship is for sophomores and juniors, typically juniors, although sometimes sophomores can apply, with very high GPAs who are future researchers in the natural sciences, engineering, and math. So if that sounds like you, if you're planning a career as a researcher in science, engineering, or math, you need to apply for the Goldwater. Goldwater offers up to $7,500 for your junior and senior year of undergrad, and while that's really awesome, it's possibly the least cool thing about a Goldwater. Being a Goldwater Scholar is going to open doors. You're going to join an incredible network of other scholars. Graduate schools know what this is. It looks so impressive on your applications, and it will really, like I said, open doors to opportunities for research, opportunities for grad school. It's something you'll carry with you for the rest of your life as a very prestigious award that you've earned. So if this sounds like you, please reach out about applying for a Goldwater. The next thing I want to talk about is REUs. These are research experiences for undergraduates. They're National Science Foundation funded summer undergraduate research opportunities. So basically you'd spend your summer at another university, not UWG, doing research in their labs with their top faculty researchers. And we say that this is for undergraduate science students, and it definitely is, but there are also some other disciplines that sometimes are represented through REUs. So we've had students apply who were psychology students or political science students. Each REU is a little bit different. So I encourage you to just Google NSF REUs. You'll find a place where you can search for an REU site, and it's broken down by discipline. So you might be surprised at all the disciplines that are included. So if doing undergraduate research for an entire summer at another institution, really getting an in-depth look at that institution and establishing relationships with those faculty members, if all that sounds interesting to you, check out REUs, reach out. I'd love to help you through this application process. The next one we'll talk about is Truman. Truman is for students who are change agents, who already have outstanding leadership and public service records, and who want to enter public service. Now, public service is very broadly defined by the folks at Truman. So that could be a law profession, it could be nonprofit work, it could be education, anywhere that you want to really make a difference in public service. So you don't just want to enter a career, but you want to change the field in some positive way. You do have to be a junior to apply for a Truman, and there are some other requirements as well. If you're interested in this, and if this sounds like you, and you know that you have graduate school in your future that you really want funded, then check out Truman. Just like Goldwater, the money that you get from Truman is almost the least cool thing, although it's definitely a great aspect of Truman. The Truman Network that you join and the other opportunities that you'll get as a Truman Scholar are incredible. So if that sounds interesting to you, check out Truman. The next one is Fulbright. There are really two tracks with Fulbright. Fulbright allows you to either research or earn a graduate degree abroad, or to teach English abroad. So in either case, if you're interested in a really in-depth abroad experience, excuse me, if you're interested in a really in-depth abroad experience where you want to spend time in a community, either teaching, serving, giving back, or through earning a graduate degree at an institution abroad, Fulbright could be an incredible opportunity for you. We are in the thick of our recruiting season for Fulbright. Our commitment deadline is coming up on May 1st. Of course, this year we're going to be flexible with that deadline, but I encourage you to reach out if you're at all interested in this incredible opportunity. I'm happy to help you through the Fulbright process, and I'm excited to do that. The next one is Madison. Madison's a pretty niche scholarship. So this is for people who are seniors right now or alumni. So if you've already graduated, this is something that's still accessible to you, who are either current or future high school social studies teachers, specifically teaching U.S. history and the U.S. Constitution. So like I said, this one's pretty niche, but if that's you and you know that you want to go to graduate school, and you'd like some funding for that, there's absolutely no reason not to apply for Madison. It is a pretty quick application process that can have some really tremendous gains. So I encourage you to look into Madison and contact me if that's you. The next one is Shoresman. This is for students who are future leaders. And that seems pretty broad because it is. Shoresman scholars will earn a fully funded master's degree in global affairs from Tsinghua University in Beijing. And even if you're thinking, I've never thought about China, I don't think I would want to go to China, or if you're thinking, I don't really want a master's in global affairs, I might want it in something else. If you're planning to become a leader, like a true global leader, innovator in your field, whatever that field is, look into Shoresman. You might be surprised at what you can learn, the network you can build. This is a really incredible opportunity for anyone who truly wants to be a leader in their field. The next one, JET. This is the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. The title's pretty self-explanatory. This is for students who want to teach abroad in Japan specifically for a year. So if you're interested in Japan, Japanese culture, art, language, any of that, and you really would love to be in Japan for a year teaching English to students there at all levels, this is a fantastic opportunity for you. You do not need to already speak Japanese in order to apply. They're looking for native English speakers. So if you're interested in Japan, this could be a really cool opportunity for you to have some in-depth time and experiences there in Japan. The last one I'm going to mention today is the Peace Corps. Peace Corps is for change makers who are ready to partner with communities to make a difference. With Peace Corps, you are serving abroad for 2 years. There's lots of different opportunities to serve, lots of different areas. You can read some of those on the screen here. Some countries do require language experience, though most don't. So if you're looking for an in-depth service opportunity and you know that you want to spend time really making a difference in a community abroad and being part of the fabric of that community, I encourage you to look into Peace Corps. I'm going to leave you with our next steps. The first next step I would suggest is to meet with the National Scholarships and Fellowships Advisor at UWG. That's me, Kate. You can email me at kate@wesco.edu. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have. I promise there are no questions too small or too silly, so please reach out if you're interested in any of these fellowships or if you want to explore further what opportunities you have that might help you to meet your goals. I'm available for that. And then next, attend a detailed information session. This session provided a very quick, very broad overview of National Scholarships and Fellowships. So watch for announcements about live sessions that are coming up and check out the other recorded webinars that we offer because we will start offering some live sessions and some recorded sessions that are specific to certain fellowships so we can go a lot more in depth with those. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. I look forward to working with you further as you achieve those big goals.